Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, dear authors and invited guests. Welcome to Technical Session 3C. Myself, Karthik Bharadwaj, and this session will be moderated by me. On behalf of Global Knowledge Research Foundation, it's my great pleasure to welcome you to the 8th International Conference on Smart Trends in Computing and Communication, SMARTCOM 2024. The 8th edition of the conference is being organized in hybrid mode. The physical event is being organized today in Pune. Sorry for the interruption. So, the 8th edition of the conference is being organized in a hybrid mode. The physical event is organized today in Pune, India, and the virtual event is being held through Zoom today and tomorrow, that is 12th and 13th of Jan 2024. I hope you will enjoy the knowledgeable and interactive session throughout the day. In the session, we have 10 presentations. Each presentation will be given 8 minutes for the presentation and 2 minutes for question and answer. On 7 minutes, I will raise a gentle reminder. If you have any queries, kindly ask it to us in the chat box. Now, moving forward, I would like to introduce you all with today's session chair, Mr. Dr. Nityansh Bhatt, Professor, Nirma University Institute of Management, Ahmedabad, India. Dr. Nityansh Bhatt is a professor and chairperson of Information Management area at Institute of Management, Nirma University, Ahmedabad. He holds MBA Marketing and PhD E-Governance degree from ML Sukhdev University, India. He has more than 22 years of experience in academia, corporate training, and research. He's being a member of group of e-governance, SEGE Go India. His research domain are e-governance, e-commerce, and enterprise application. Sir, we would like to listen your words.
Thank you, Mr. Karthik. May I request the participants to please turn on your camera? Good afternoon, friends. May I request Mr. Harsh, Samsa Rauti, Aishwarya, Srinivasan, Shivam. Good to see you. Good to see you. Other colleagues, I request you to please turn on your camera, if convenient. Anyway, when you are going to make a presentation, your camera should be on. We would like to see you. Okay. Other colleagues also may do it so that all of us can see each other. Srinivasan and Aishwarya, if you are here, please turn on. Okay, chaliye, let me start. So, friends, good afternoon according to Indian time, and otherwise, good morning, good evening as per your time. This conference is organized by GR Foundation, GR Scholastic, along with the KCCI in collaboration with Springer. And the topic of this conference is Smart Trends in Computing and Communication, as Mr. Karthik shared. It is a SmartCom 2024. And we have a total 10 presentations which are scheduled in next 2 hours. So I request all of you to please adhere to the timeline strictly. That is 10 minutes which has been given to you, including Q&A. After the presentation, the other participants also can ask a question, and I encourage you to do that. So once all the presentations are over, I would like to share my brief remarks. With that, I welcome all of you to this enriching conference. And I request Mr. Shivam Kumar Singh. His paper title is Water Quality Prediction for Indian States with Varied Parameters Using Ensemble Machine Learning Models. And the title given is Equality, right? And this is going to be an interesting presentation. Over to you, Shivam.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, you can proceed with the presentation.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Shivam Kumar Singh. I'm from SRM Institute of Science and Technology, BTech pre-final year student. Today, I'm going to present the paper Water Quality Prediction for the Indian state with varied parameter using assemble machine learning model. So today we are going to discuss over this agenda. The main objective for this is to predict the water quality using machine learning model. As we can see in the image, just 1 minute. As we can see image, this is the recent image was taken on the Chennai on December 2023. This was a flooded area. So we can see everywhere is a lot of water, but we can't able to use. So this paper mainly aims to use the unusable water and also make it portable to everybody to use it. So uh, introduction. India has achieved many things in terms of the information technology, their foreign policy and everything. But when we come for the India performance over the water quality, India is very poor in the water quality. It ranked around 122 globally in terms of water quality. When we come for the global population, India contains most populated country all over the world. It contains 60% of total world population, whereas it has only 4% of fresh water supply. So we can conclude that for 1 liter of water, 4 people are fighting to get it. Even in the image, we can see that for a single bucket of water, many people are in the line from the morning itself and getting the water in a rush fight. When we come for the diseases related to the water, all over the years, India has lost around 3.3 lakh children under the age of 5 due to the water related issues. And when we come for the water related issues in the adult, out of 4, one adult have sickness due to the water related. When we come for the women's contribution in the water fetching, almost around 150 million work days are utilized by the woman in the whole life to just get the water from one area to another area. If we utilize that 150 million work days in the Indian economy, it will very helpful and it will help to boost the economy. Literature survey. While performing the literature survey, we have gone through the various papers and the algorithm used by it, and also through the input size and the results. Through that, we have studied more than 20 papers through which we have get the information various parameter and all, through which we get the artificial neural network, random forest, and deep neural network are one of the machine learning model that can be utilized in this work for getting the more accuracy. For this method, equality. We have combined the two words aqua and quality for the paper title. So we combine it and make it the equality. So when it's come for the methodology, we have data collection, pre-processing, feature selection, and model training. When the data collection time comes, it is very hard to get the data information about the current trends and the current data of the water. So we have get the data from the data.gov.in, which is the government side, from which we have get the data in from the different dams and the different states. The data is a form of the different temperatures, pH, conductivity, and all. For the parameter for the data water quality prediction was given and suggested by the WHO. WHO suggested the 10 parameter which include pH, hardness, TTS, chloramine, sulfate, conductivity, organic carbon, thiolomethane, and turbidity. By using this parameter, we are going to calculate the water quality. Also, WHO also suggested that the given parameter and then the standard, like for example, suppose the pH is 7.5. The WHO suggests that if the water containing 7.5 pH, then it will be more potable. And hence we have given that 100% portability. Same ways we have given the 6.5 pH for the 80% and 8.5 as a 80 percentage. And same kind of parameter and the same kind of marking we have given for the rest 9 parameters. When we come for the data visualization of input, we can see that there are the two graphs. One graph shows the graph between pH and the dissolved oxygen. The second graph shows the between the biological oxygen demand and nitrogen. From the graph, we can conclude that as per as the sample sizes and as per as the values, they are the stepping up and stepping down clearly visible. So even a single policy for the whole nation can't be able to make the whole India's water to a potable. So we have to introduce a local policy so we can get the more potable water. Same as there are the two graphs also conductivity and chloroform here. We can also see that the stepping up and the stepping down clearly so visible. So from one state to another state, from one dam to another dam, the quality of water are different from one place to another place. So there should be a central, not centralized, there should be a localized for each dam for each area so that the people can get the more potable water. When we come for the performance and evaluation, the model performed 97.53% accuracy. On the other hand, we have plotted the graph of the state with the water quality index. For the more visualization, we have converted this graph to the India's model map, which will be easily understandable and visible for that. So this is the result, and we are currently working. Like our future scope is just to not get the data. We are just thinking to get the water quality prediction using the sensing images, satellite images. These are the references from where we have just get the paper reviews. That's it from my side. Anyone have any questions, sir?
So, any questions?
Sir, you are mute.
Sir, you're not audible.
I request participants if you have any question. Shivam, go to your last 2-3 slides. Okay, just wait, please. So which tool you utilize for this visualization?
Sir, for visualization, we use the simple Python and the PyPlot, where we get the data in the form of the CSV file. And by using the CSV file, we plotted using the PyPlot libraries of the Panda, and that way we plotted the graph.
Right. Go to the next slide, please. What is the reason for selecting these specific states?
Sir, not selecting the specific state like because we get the data that was available on the government side for this state only. The rest of the state was not available, and we don't wanted to create the false data, so we just taken the accurate data and which was actually available. So that's why we taken that only state. If we get the data of more state, that we can do perform for all over India.
So what are your interpretation coming from this graph?
Which this graph, sir?
Yeah.
1 minute.
And similarly, the previous graph, what is your interpretation?
From this graphs, we can clearly show that we can see that some state, not every state, but we can through the map of India, we can show that Gujarat and Rajasthan are closer to each other, but the water quality index of these similar neighbor states are very different. 66 in the Gujarat and the 93.28 in the Rajasthan. So we can interpret that even the boundaries, even the neighborhood, even the within the 1 kilometer range, the data quality, the water quality is changing very faster.
So Rajasthan's water quality is better.
Yeah, as compared to Rajasthan, Gujarat, as compared to Gujarat. As per the data was given by the government site, data.gov.in.
Right, right. And could you see this data? You see, in each of the state there are multiple rivers.
Yeah. Okay.
So can we generalize that in Gujarat, all the places the water quality is this, and Rajasthan everywhere it's like, how have the computation done?
Sir, basically we can find that from different rivers for the different dam the water quality is that, but for we just take the average of all the rivers and generalize that part 68.
Okay.
But we can find for the different rivers and for different dam, but the problem is that we do not have large data. We have just concluded whatever the data is available for different only
No,
selected
no.
dams.
So I'm just trying to see, understand, when you government's data, is it about pond or river or lake?
It's about the dam.
Dam only.
Yeah, limited amount the data on this.
Okay.
So our future research topic is just not to get the data from the government, just from the satellite images, water
Okay.
bodies to predict the water. So we are trying to get that thing.
Go to the next slide, please.
References are there.
Okay. So now go to the title page. So first of all, Shivam, I'm very happy as a student you are interested in research.
Thank you,
Your
sir.
topic is water quality prediction.
Okay,
So
sir.
what is the prediction in this?
Uh,
What are you
for
predicting? You are
predict
simply telling existing, according to the existing data, whether the quality is at par, moderate, excellent, good. What is the prediction?
sir, prediction is like World Health Organization is giving some parameters.
Right.
Through that parameter, we are going to categorize whether the water is potable, can we able to drink or not, drinkable or not.
So true, I understood that. But in that case, your title should not be this one. The moment I see water quality prediction, that means something comes to my mind is after 5 years or 10 years, maybe related to quality or quantity, how much will be the level based on some trend analysis or something like that. So maybe you need to rethink about the title, this particularly this prediction word. Maybe classification of water quality of Indian state as per WHO model or ensemble model, whatever. So maybe you can just rethink. Otherwise, this is fine. One or two quick inputs. When you gave a lot of data in slide number 2, 3, 4, probably you must have given it in the paper, but we should mention the source. 122nd, and type, population, quality, all these things, source should be given. And come to the table, please. Yeah, here also.
This one.
Here, when you talk about literature survey, first of all, it should be literature review. And then when you talk about literature, who are the authors?
Authors are just mentioned at the last part, sir.
So here itself, no, that is fine. I can see that. So this Sargi or Kashifur or something like that, that could be given along with the table itself, not here in the table.
Okay, sir, I will take care of this
No,
thing
no,
next.
no issue. Chaliye, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Now I request Ms. Riya Gautam to present her paper, Adapting a Real-Time OS to the Risk V-Based ESP32. Ms. Riya. After her, Mr. Natwar Patel should be ready with his presentation, please.
Riya ma'am,
please go ahead.
Riya ma'am, you can proceed with your presentation.
All the presenter, please turn on your camera and then only present.
I think so. Riya is not available right now.
Can some other co-author present on her behalf if somebody is available? Else we can move
No,
to...
I think so. No one is here in my behalf.
No issue, no issue. In that case, do we have Mr. Natwar Patel?
Let me check. No, sir.
He is also not.
He is not also available. Yes.
What about Siraj Bhai Nagalpara?
No, he's not also.
Okay. So who is available actually? I can see HR
Shreya, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, she's available.
So I request Shreya to present her paper, AI Tools and Chatbots for Design Education. Shreya,
Yes.
go ahead, please. She is from
You can-
PS University, India.
Ma'am, you can start
Yes.
with your presentation.
Yeah, it's telling me that I cannot share my screen while someone else is sharing. So
Ma'am, I have just unshared it. You can now proceed with it.
okay. Can you see the screen?
Yes, ma'am. Screen is visible.
Okay. One second. Yeah. Yeah, so my topic is artificial intelligence tools and chatbots for design education. So basically, in this, I'm going to be overviewing the history of AI tools and chatbots, and there's also a case study of how they can be used in the design process and thus be included in the design education as well. So one of my co-authors and mentors, it was Tarun Kumar sir, and in the abstract, I have mentioned that artificial intelligence is the next new like happening thing in the like professional world, and so it needs to be design. It needs to be included in the design education as well, so that even students can learn how to use AI tools. And I've also mentioned about ChatGPT being an NLP model. It is limited to only text responses and basic images. And so I have used other AI tools like Crayon Solid and 3D5 for images and 3D model generation, which these tools use convolutional neural networks. And in this paper, these tools are used in the design process by employing prompt engineering. And I have taken a sample case study project, which is documented completely. And like it has subcategories where the one side of the project has only traditional methods involved, and the other side of the project has AI tools only. Like the whole process is reliant upon AI tools. So both the cases are compared and analyzed. And so it is concluded that AI tools can transform the design domain. And so it is like very important to include this into the design curriculum for design solutions. This paper aims to contribute to the design pedagogy by prescribing the integration of AI assistive tools into the design curriculum, and it opens opportunities to develop the proposed solution further by carrying out user testing and introducing backend modification, and also to change the approach of design students when they solve any design issue in their projects. Um, so, firstly, impact and history of artificial intelligence. After the widespread introduction of virtual assistants by Apple, Samsung, Google, and Microsoft, AI models which use natural language processing are the next big breakthrough to capture the interest of all fields. I have mentioned the resources as well. And literature review in this paper, it has like I have used many papers to understand AI tools and their history, and also some definitions in design and design pedagogy. So chatbots are considered more as friendly companions than assistants, and how CNNs, RNNs, and DNNs are not used in NLP models as they have some limitations. And transformer architecture overcame those limitations and hence are used in language models. And DAL-E 2 is the most realistic, appealing, and accurate text to image generator. But here I have used Crayon for my text to image generation because it's more accessible for me. And the definitions for design and design pedagogy and all have also been looked at in the literature review. Design is a process of integrating all constraints imposed by a problem, a medium, and a designer. And it can be, in another work, they have defined it as both a noun and a verb. And design pedagogy is to teach design academically or theoretically. And hence, AI in design pedagogy is essential as it is shown in the source which I have mentioned. And next, I'll move on to the case study. They were in the case study. I followed with and without AI sub cases. And in that, the design project which I followed, the design brief was to design a wireless solar powered LED desk lamp. So I came up with a process map for the case study with both with AI and without AI. And with AI, I asked ChatGPT to come up with the best design process, and without I came up with the iterative AT design process, which is like definitely curated for this design project. So this is a process map. And with I used ChatGPT, Google Bard, Bing, Crayon, Solid, and 3D5 in each required phase. And the whole design process was entirely dependent on AI tools. And without AI, the design process completely excludes AI, and only traditional methods were used. And like I said, I use the iterative AT design process. It has 8 steps: empathize, establish, explore, envision, experiment, elect, execute, and examine. And these are some software and system requirements for the chatbots which are used in the paper. And design without AI followed this process, as I've already explained before. And to get to the iterative AT design process, I studied 2 different design processes called generative development process and another design process mentioned in my resources. And here it was all without AI. So this is a mood board proof of concept. And for concept generation, this was the TRIS morphological table. I generated 3 concepts based on these 4 TRIS principles mentioned. And those concepts were compared with each other in the datum table. And one of the concepts was used as a datum comparison, and other concepts were compared to it. And in the end, I came up with like these 3 concepts, and they were the best features of each of them were combined to make the final design. And in design with AI, the presented like process was followed. And mood board and concept development was done by Crayon. It's a text to image generator model. And engineering phase was done by chatbots, ChatGPT, Google Bard, and Microsoft Bing. They gave me the images for the proof of concept. Google Bard and Microsoft could source its citations, and ChatGPT doesn't source its citations usually. In 3D modeling, Solid and 3D5 were used. 3D5 is a more advanced level of text to 3D model generator, and Solid is it gives the user a little more control over the generation of models. And then this was it for the case study. Now we go towards the app development. So the conclusions drawn from the case study suggest that AI tools are great as assistants, but they are not very efficient if the complete design process is reliant on AI tools. So to make the most of AI tools, it would be immensely helpful to have an assistive smartphone application that had all the available useful AI tools for the design process. Hence, an app was designed with simple screens to propose the idea for further development in the future. This was the app with basic screens, and I have like the landing page and home page and other important screens in the app. And this app was again asked, like it was sent as a user feedback survey. And
Sorry to interrupt, ma'am. You have 1 minute to conclude.
yeah. It was sent for a user feedback survey, and it reached many design professionals, students, and researchers. And they all agreed that AI would be very helpful to gather resources, but they all also agreed, 64% of them agreed that human intervention is needed in the prototyping and testing phase. As the conclusion, again, AI tools are most effective as assistive tools. And so, by using AI tools in our design curriculum, we are preparing design students to be more like equipped to face the AI world, which is oncoming. And it may lead to tackling and overcoming wicked problems through efficient and feasible design solutions, because AI tools will actually help in making the process easier. And these are my references. Thank you. Um,
Sir, you are not audible.
Any participant has any question for the author, Miss Shreya? Are you Miss Shreya or Dr. Shreya?
I'm a student. I'm this Miss Shreya.
Which program?
I'm a design student. I'm in my 4th year.
Okay. So this paper is jointly with some faculty?
Yeah, I have a mentor who helped me with the process, who guided me through the process.
Two questions. You used three generative AI tool like Bard or Chat GPT or so.
Yeah.
So which one you found most effective?
Actually, I use many, like I use three types of AI tools. One was text to text, one was
Hmm.
text to image, and one was text to 3D. All were helpful in different phases of the design project. So, if you ask me in text to text, like chatbots, I would say Bing and Google Bard are better, especially Bing, because they are able to cite their sources. But ChatGPT, it makes up things. So it can't really cite its sources unless you pressurize it to like cite your source. So in chatbots, I think Bing is the best. And actually, I have also mentioned it here. But amongst all the text to image tools, DALI is the best. But I have used the second best, which is Crayon, because it's more accessible to me. And in text to 3D, there are not many AI tools out yet. And I have used 3D-Fi and Solid. In those two, if I compare, 3D-Fi is better. Because, like I said, one second, let me show. Yeah, so the 3D-Fi is like completely text to 3D, but Solid, which is this one in the left, it is like it gives you more freedom to manipulate it yourself. So it's not completely AI generated, but 3D-Fi has very limited data sets to generate 3D forms from. So I think if 3D-Fi were to include more other categories of models in the future, which they are going to, this model is still in the training process, then I think 3D-Fi would be the best amongst 3D modeling
And
generators.
the final thing you mentioned that some respondents were used to give feedback.
Yeah, yeah.
Who were these respondents?
Actually, in my design curriculum, I shared it with design students, and then I shared it with some design professors and professionals as well. And because I'm into the research community, I also shared it to my mentor and his contacts. So, design researchers were also involved.
So the feedback of different group of stakeholders like students or faculty was the same.
Um Actually, mostly it is the same because we all use the same design process in one or the other way. But like it just varies in the scale because as we are students, we'll only limit ourselves to some fixed number of people which we can survey. But as it goes to professional people, the scale of like impact, the impact their design has is bigger.
Okay,
So that's why most of the responses are similar. They all agreed that AI would be helpful, but not completely trustworthy. But human intervention is needed.
good, good. Thank you and all the best, Shreya.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Do we have Mr. Dhyanik Pujara?
No, sir, it's not available.
Sir, he's not available.
Let's go to the previous presenters. Do we have Shivam Singh or Miss? No, Shivam Singh already presented. What about Riya Gautam, Natwar Patel, or Siraj Bhai? No. Then we
None
can
of them are
have
here.
Srinivasan R. Is he here?
Yes, he's available. Yes.
Okay. So
Sir,
let's
you
have this
can.
presentation on facial emotion recognition of mentally retarded children to aid psychotherapist. Very interesting topic. Srinivasan, please go ahead.
Sir, you can proceed with the presentation.
I can't see him, Karthik.
So let's move to the next participant then.
Again, we have HR Shreya. Shreya, you have second presentation also, right?
Yes, sir.
Please proceed with
I
your second
will.
presentation. Text to 3D model generators on interior design. Please go ahead.
Yeah. The topic for this
Let
is
me
to
just remove my
use.
screen. Yes, ma'am. You can proceed with your presentation.
Yeah. The topic for this presentation is the impact of artificial intelligence tools and text to 3D model generators on interior design specifically. Here again, I was mentored by my mentor Tarun Kumar sir. Here, as an abstract, I have mentioned that AI tools are the present world's most significantly impacting topic, and they're also having a lot of impact on interior design and architecture. And it's majorly due to their use in the conclusive phases of the project, in like through CAD, computer aided design, in 3D modeling and design. Therefore, the issue of inclusion of AI tools in the design education, again, I have mentioned in this paper as well, how important it is to include AI tools in design education so that the design students can focus more on the creative aspect of the design process. And this has come like through the process. I carried out an experiment about how what is the most important part of interior design project when it comes to residential areas, and furniture pieces are one of the most important parts. So some categories of furniture were then finalized, and a data set was made, which consisted of 900 images in total. And Google Teachable Machine was used to make like
Priya,
totally
your
10
screen is
image
not
models.
shared.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize. Should I start again? I'm just in the second slide. Okay, I'll continue. Google Teachable Machine was then used to create image models. Totally 10 image models were used to in this experiment to categorize furniture and then detect deformities in the images of the 3D models. And then after the image models were tested, a smartphone application was proposed again to implement the above experiment as a concept. And it was also made like in the scenario of it being publicly accessible, again user survey was conducted. And so this paper seeks to aid design students in accessing AI tools and better the design pedagogy by equipping them with the skills necessary to master AI tools. So the paper aims to help design students use AI easily in their projects because many people find it inaccessible, and to generate non-defective decorative pieces of furniture elements so that they can focus on the main interior plans or the designs primarily. And so it can save time and money for low budget and student projects. And it also aims to make sure that modeling skills don't become a barrier in presenting preliminary designs. AI in interior design. I have included some works which talk about AI in interior design in my literature review. So this first one is about design experience which has AI called Dream Nesting, where they used augmented reality, which is AR, into the like to make concepts and interfaces for interior design to make the experience of the people viewing it better. And also, I've also included three other works here where they talk about construction and manufacturing and how AI tools can pitch into it to make it easier and more efficient. And I've also mentioned that Google Teachable Machines are used. In the literature review, application of Google Teachable Machine is explored. Usually, in the literature review, which I found, most of them were applied into medical diagnosis. And it was also found that it could empower disabled people by enabling them to use data-driven assistive technology. And since it is about interior design, I also went into AI 3D model generators, namely Dream Fusion, Get 3D, PUF, UHD, and Pointy. And I have mentioned the papers, so like sources as well. These are all four different model generators which were proposed in different literatures papers. Methodology involved categorizing of furniture. So these the table which you can see is the categories which were identified, and an image model was made to differentiate between each category of furniture with only non-defective furniture data sets. And then nine more image models were made to separate each category of furniture and to identify whether the data provided to the model was defective or non-defective, and so that the image model can recognize the difference between defective furniture and non-defective furniture. And the AI tool used to generate 3D models was Imagine 3D version 1.2 alpha. These were some furniture images which this tool generated. Actually, that Imagine 3D is like you can have your own kind of generations and you can upload it individually. So this is the first AI mod image tool. It was made on Google Teachable Machine. So this categorizes different furniture images, as you can see, and there are 100 image samples in each category. So when I feed a AI generated model into it or any model into it, it can detect what kind of furniture it is. So here it's detected that it's 100% a shelf, which it is a shelf. It's a preliminary model. And then I like the graphs were plotted through Google Teachable Machine for loss of epoch, accuracy of epoch, confusion matrix, and accuracy per loss for these graphs. And then other nine image models were made, but I've only included a screenshot of one of the image models. So this is for the chairs, and it again I have 100 image samples for good chairs and 100 image samples for deformed chairs. So again, when I feed an AI generated chair model to it, it can identify whether it's a good chair or a deformed chair. And then app development. After the experiments with the image model, the idea was then proposed in a survey targeted towards designers to access the need for a service which detects deformities in 3D models. And the responses suggested that most of the users who use AI-based 3D model generators were not satisfied or at all. Like it ranged from moderately satisfied to not satisfied, as you can see in the graph. And hence the idea was developed further to make it easier to detect deformities. As in the survey they also mentioned that detecting deformities would make it easier even in the models which they made themselves using traditional softwares for 3D modeling. And this is the app made. Its name is 3D Tech. And like how I explained about the image models, the same thing is put into this, where it can assess your 3D models which you make or the AI generated ones, and tell you whether it is a good model or a defective model. And actually, to make it better as a future scope, it would be better if it could analyze the scans of the 3D models itself instead of images that are mentioned in this future scope. And as a conclusion, again, the paper addresses the need for inclusion of AI tools in design pedagogy, and assistive technologies are continuously trained and developed. Hence, they are tools of the future, and so to open the world of AI to students, a method to include an accessible AI tool, which is primarily a 3D model generator tool, was explored. And then a tool to detect deformities and defects in 3D models was then proposed to help novice designers. So, a smartphone application was then proposed, which could help in implementing the predictive image classification model, and the app was named 3D Tech. And prior to the making, a user survey was asked, spread amongst designers to ask for the need to categorize 3D models and detecting their defects. And many people agreed that they do find it difficult to understand whether their models have defects or not. And then a preliminary prototype of the app with a few screens were then made to demonstrate the application visually and to show its features so that it can be brought into the it can be developed further, and it can certainly pave a way for increased incorporation of AI tools in design pedagogy. It's mainly targeting the students so that students can use these kind of apps to in their design education to get better in using AI tools. These are my references. Thank you.
Good presentation, Shreya, again.
Thank you, sir.
2, 3 questions. First of all, anyone wants to ask question to Shreya? She is doing interesting research in the area of AI.
Sir, myself, Sudha, I want to pass one question, sir.
Please, ma'am.
Shreya, ma'am, have you developed any model to recognize that, or you have incorporated only Google Teachable Machine in your app?
Actually, I've only used Google Teachable Machine for now since the constraints of time were there. But then I also wanted to like take it further in the future scope and include other models for classification and identification. Here it's only Google Teachable Machines.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Shreya, three small questions.
Yeah.
One part is you are talking about 3D model generator or interior design, but in design your scope is limited to chairs only, right?
Not really. I have only shown one of the image models. I have totally 9 image models. Since it
Okay.
will be too long to show all of them, totally
So
10
what are you?
actually.
So very briefly, apart
Yeah,
from chair,
one
what
second.
all you have done?
Yeah. So basically, chairs, sofas, benches, all the furniture
Okay.
mentioned here. So
Furnished
each of
basically.
them has their own image model.
Right. So you prepared all.
Yeah. I prepared all, but I have only showcased the result of one because it's similar. All the results are similar. I actually have the screenshots of all of them, but I
Okay.
only included one of them in both the paper
Right.
and the PPT.
Right. Fine. So this is one. Second
Yeah.
aspect is how do you define deformity?
Actually, in the data sets, I had taken like you know how normal furniture is, right? Like if deformity it would be in case of models, it would be any pixel count or any kind of small defect which you can't see when you are making the model. Something like an overlap or a dent or something like that, which you can't see when you're creating the model, but then it would probably be visible later when you reach into the further phases of design. So basically,
But
some of these
which
deformities,
so which material are you assuming? The furniture will be wooden or metallic or what type of material?
no, every kind of furniture, every material. But because I'm focusing on models, it won't matter the material because it's all modeled, like
Hmm.
in 3D softwares, like Fusion or something else,
But,
Maya, something like
but
that.
material to material quality parameters differs, and definitely
Yeah,
the deformity also can change. For example, if
yeah,
plastic chair may have different deformity than others, depending on how much pressure we apply or weight or something like that.
yeah,
So
yeah,
those are the additional parameters. Anyway, you can think
yeah,
about it.
yeah.
And last thing is you showed a graph about satisfaction,
One second.
and
Yeah.
three classes were there. Not satisfied, moderately. Why there was nobody who was very satisfied?
Because AI 3D model generators are a very new field, I would say. There are not many open source available tools. I have only done it in open source. I have not like done it with paid versions of AI softwares or tools, since it was
No,
only
but
available for me. In
this satisfaction is not yours. This is
Yeah,
satisfaction by
it's
you.
not mine. Yeah,
Ah,
so it's based on my observation as well as the others. It's basically because I had asked many questions based on this. They didn't even know how many, like there are many available, but then they won't know what to use, which will satisfy their need in a design project. And even if
so
they
basic. No,
find
no.
something,
Please, I understood. But
yeah,
for everyone, I'm saying what I'm saying is that what I understood is that people are less aware about availability of such tools. So when people are
uh,
less aware, there is no question of not satisfied or highly satisfied. So the scale
yeah,
which you have is satisfaction issue comes when we are already aware and using the things. For
yeah,
example, you have used it,
hmm.
therefore you can give your opinion with regard to satisfaction. But somebody who is not aware, and the same thing was the applicable in case of your previous paper also, right? So
No,
this
I
is
have
this.
actually targeted people. I have like sorted out people who have not used it and who have used it in the survey. So these results are based on people who have used AI tools before, but they're not satisfied because they are not good enough. Based on like
Fine.
they say that they can make better 3D models compared to
Okay.
the ones generated by AI.
Then it's fine. Then it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. No.
We'll keep it
Yeah.
up.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. It's a humble request for all participants, all researchers. Kindly be till the last.
Now we have Professor Samsa Rauti. I request him to present. His topic is leaky democracy. Very interesting topic. Third parties in voting advice applications. Professor Samsa, please.
So,
Yes. Thank you.
You can proceed with your presentation, sir.
University of Turku. So where exactly it is?
It's in Finland,
Finland. Okay, great.
so in the very north.
Are you a professor or you are a PhD student?
I'm a PhD student, yes.
Our best wishes for your PhD. Please go ahead.
Thank you. So, I'm Sampsa Rauti from University of Turku, Finland, as I said, and today I'm briefly presenting a study of voting advice applications that leaked users' political opinions to several third parties, such as Google. So, as we know, digitalization has enabled the handling of many everyday matters through online services, and of course, for this reason, the confidentiality and privacy of personal information are very important and crucial matters. But at the same time, different kinds of third-party services or third-party libraries are very popular in many kinds of online services. And of course, this causes privacy challenges. And the real challenge here is that sensitive personal information may leak to third parties. And of course, this is quite dangerous when identifying and context revealing data are combined together. For example, let's say the user's IP address leaks along with the URL addresses that they have visited. Then this can be a real problem, as we will see soon. And this study investigates these kinds of data leaks in voting advice applications, and these kinds of leaks in voting advice applications, to the best of my knowledge, have not been actually studied before. So, what are these voting advice applications? They are tools that provide users with personalized political recommendations and information based on their preferences. So basically these tools help the user to decide who they should vote for in different kinds of elections. And at least in Finland, my home country, these voting advice applications are quite popular. Many voters use them. So we analyzed 11 Finnish voting advice applications, and we responded to the questions in these applications to determine which of the candidates is the most suitable candidate. And then we accessed these pages featuring the top candidates or the most suitable candidates for us. And of course, we wanted to see whether the information about these candidates leak to any third parties like Google. So we wanted to know whether our political opinion, in a sense, is revealed. And how was this analysis made? We used Google Chrome's developer tools to analyze the network traffic and to see whether an URL address that reveals the information about our top candidates is leaked. So we analyzed network traffic. And the results, as a result, we found out that 7 out of these 11 studied voting advice applications leaked the users' top candidates or most suitable candidates to third parties, and of course the users' political opinions could be revealed in this process, and they could be revealed to as many as 7 different third parties in one voting advice application. So this is quite serious. And of course, according to GDPR, for example, the privacy regulation which we have in place in Europe, these political opinions are considered highly sensitive information, just like, for example, the health data. So it is quite serious, at least according to our privacy regulations. And also these privacy policy documents on these websites did not really disclose that these kinds of leaks of political opinions are present. So that is also bad in terms of transparency, because now the users of these voting advice applications cannot know that their political opinions are leaking to some third parties. Here we can see on the left side these voting advice applications we studied, and on the right side the third parties which received these sensitive political opinions. And we can, for example, see that Google receives quite many of these political opinions. In 5 cases, Google receives sensitive data. And for example, there is also Meta or Facebook, which receives these political opinions. And in summary, there are quite many of these third parties, as we can see. So sensitive information is going to many different destinations. And in conclusion, we saw that the user's political opinions can potentially leak to third parties in these voting advice applications in form of URL addresses that reveal which candidate the user is maybe going to vote for, or who is the most suitable candidate to a specific user. And these kinds of leaks seem to be quite common, because 7 out of 11 voting advice applications leaked this sensitive data. And many of these media companies that provide these voting advice applications as a part of their services, they really do not seem to realize the fact that maybe a media portal, general media portal, has quite different privacy requirements compared with voting advice applications, which is of course much more sensitive. And in future, we would of course hope that these voting advice application providers will hopefully analyze these potential data leaks, maybe perform a network traffic analysis which is similar to our analysis, and of course realize that this situation is quite serious. And this has actually been covered in national media in Finland, so I suppose that quite many of these voting advice application providers have already made some improvements, and all of these data leaks are no longer present. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you, sir. Sir, any questions?
Yeah, participants, if you have any questions. Okay. Samsa, apart from you, all others are Indians in this panel. Hello?
You mean
No, no. I'm
Indians
saying
in-
all others are Indian. You are only person from Finland.
Yes,
So
yes.
somehow, in our political system, we do not have something like voting advice application. So we
Right.
do not understand. Can you tell us? Let's say there are two parties, A, B, or C. Let's say, right? Out of these three political parties, the victorious one will head the government, right?
Yes.
So what is the role of these voting advice application to citizens? We could not understand.
Okay, so maybe I can go back here, but basically these voting advice applications ask you several political questions
Right.
about your political opinions, and based on your answers, they will define which of the candidates in some election is best suited for you. And
For
of
me,
course,
no, hold on, please. So
this
they will,
information is quite
no, I'm
sensitive.
just trying to understand. I'm just trying to understand. Let's say there are three parties, A, B, C, or three candidates, A, B, C.
Yes.
So are they asking my opinion about how is A, how is B, how or C, how is, or based on my demographic or psychographic thing, they will recommend me कि I should select A, B, or C.
Not really. They ask more like, what is your stance on, for example, immigration matters, or they ask some economical questions
Right.
or other questions like that. So they
So based
don't
on that,
ask.
they will. Okay, I got it. So based on that, they will recommend me कि I should vote for A, B, or C, something like that.
Yes, that's the final recommendation. Yes.
Right. So how popular are these applications?
They are actually quite popular. So about 50% of Finnish voters use these voting advice applications. So that's also why this is quite serious.
So this information is leaked to Meta and these agencies.
Yes, Google and Meta and many other third
Right.
third-party service providers.
So whatever data which is being leaked, how authentic is this information in predicting the governments?
Well, I would say it's quite authentic, or it can be used very well to identify a specific person. And I think that's really the issue, because it contains the IP address, and it contains the favorite candidate of a specific person. So that's
But
why
as per the GDPR guidelines, and I'm sure as per the Finnish guidelines, this is illegal, right?
Yes, basically this is illegal.
Illegal.
At least
So,
without informing the users.
Right.
And they were not informed appropriately.
So have any parties booked and are behind the bars in the court, in the prison?
Excuse me.
I'm saying because it's illegal and information is leaked, right? So if the government could identify and enforcement agencies have identified, are there some agencies which are behind the bars, in jail, in prison?
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay. So now the last question, I understood this. So what is the recommendation? Come to the last slide before references.
Yes, so recommendations.
This is conclusion. So what is your recommendation? How this leak can be prevented?
Well, my recommendation is definitely that these third-party services should be removed from these voting advice applications. And I really believe that they are not there intentionally. So basically these media outlets that offer these voting advice applications, they have accidentally, or at least partly accidentally put these third-party services there. So they should be removed, and I believe many of them have already removed these services, but they should really perform a network traffic analysis very similar to our analysis and make sure that this data is not leaking. Those are maybe the most important things.
So this is something very different from what we have in India. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Let's move towards the next presentation.
I think this is the last presentation.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Ms. Siddha, go ahead, please.
Yes, sir.
So Ms.
Go
Sudha
ahead with-
Govindan is presenting a paper titled Precipitation Forecast with an Intercorporation of Pollutants Visual Analytic Approach. Ma'am, you can proceed with your presentation.
Sudhaji, just wait.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Just wait. We have Harsh Soni. Is he from GR Foundation itself?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so then Sudhaji is the last one. Please go ahead, Sudhaji.
Yes. Sir, hope my screen is visible to you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Screen is visible.
Okay. So, my research work is precipitation forecast or rainfall forecast with an incorporation of pollutant as one of the participating attribute. And I have used a visual analytic approach. I am a research student doing a part-time PhD in Madurai Kamarajar University. And my research supervisor is Dr. Sugna. And I have planned my agenda like this: introduction followed by objective, architecture, research contribution, methodology, as well as research, and finally summary. As an introduction, as an introductory thing, I found during the COVID period there was more rainfall due to the less pollution. So that aspect kindled this type of research. So I decided to incorporate the pollutant and the pollution related attributes with the weather forecasting data set, and I found some interesting results too. So weather forecasting, actually it is very stochastic in nature, and many natural events which always trigger the pollutant, which indirectly play a major role in rain. And the effect of pollution and weather parameters and the vice versa relationship is also discussed in a number of atmospheric and environmental research. So based on this paper, I have taken this research work. And the entire research work, I have one major objective is to find a reliable and improved forecasting of precipitation with incorporating the pollutants also in a forecasting attribute set. And I had divided this entire work into 3 phases. First one is data collection, and second one, I studied the relationship between the weather attributes and pollution attributes, and finally 5 attribute has been selected for weather forecasting, and the models have been built. I have used 3 models. One is based on regression, multilinear regression, and then second one ARIMA modeling, and then LSTM network. So in phase 1, the data set has been procured through the authorized websites of Government of India. So I have collected all the real-time recorded observation from CPCB and BOO and NRSC or ISRO site, and IMD meteorology site, and Smart City Portal, NOAA, and OGD platform, TN. This is for collecting in Tamil Nadu Pollution Control Board. And at the phase 1, the architecture has been designed like this. So initially, it collected the data from several websites, and each website provide the weather and pollution attributes in different timing intervals. So those timing interval has been changed to the daily means of observation for observations, and then so these several data set has been used and accumulated to single one I have used these data sets from several sites so that I could fill the missing value, if any. So the imputation techniques are used to fill up the missing values. So mean imputation, hard-tech imputation, whole-tech imputation, and nearest neighbor imputations are already presented by several researchers. And in my research, I go for domain-specific techniques where I usually conduct ARIMA model, and from that ARIMA model, the missing value will be computed, and after collecting these sets for an entire year, weather and pollution both are binded together and they are merged together and form a new merged data set of weather and pollution attributes. And then the next phase is going to be the feature selection and relationship analysis. So first correlation analysis is done, so that here I have used Pearson correlation, and I found what all the attributes are correlated with each other among pollution and weather data set. And then I followed regression analysis so that I could identify which individual attribute forces the rainfall attribute. And then this is an interesting one, as statistics says, intervening variable analysis. Here I have taken subset and I have analyzed the spuriously related attributes. Sometimes if A influences B and B influences C. So this transitive relationship can be easily identified by intervening variable analysis. So if we just blindly follow this regression or correlation, it will say A also influencing B, B influencing. So finally what we consider is we take these three attributes, but if we follow this intervening variable analysis, we come to know that A and C, these two attributes has been selected and B can be withdrawn. And the phase 2, this architecture has been followed in my work. So here with the weather and pollution attribute are first correlation, went through the correlation analysis, and this extraneous and confounding moderator variables, what I said in A influencing B, B influencing C. So those thing has been identified, and we just eliminate the moderating variable. So the attribute, what I said in the B, can be removed off or withdrawn. And then I just constructed various regression models in order to test whether precipitation truly influencing attributes. And so here I build a single linear regression model, and based on the these metrics, the MLR multilinear regression is also constructed. And finally, these attributes plays a main role: temperature, visibility, humidity, particulate matter of size 2.5 microns, and nitrogen dioxide. So these 5 attributes are the major role players in weather forecasting, especially in precipitation forecasting. And next, in forecasting model, this is going to be the phase 3. Here I have constructed MLR, ARIMA model, and LSTM model, where I performed modeling parameter optimization and hyperparameter optimization. And this is a forecasting model architecture. So from the complete data set of pollution and weather attributes, I constructed all this model, and I just make a forecast for next upcoming 15 days and assessed the performance metrics of these models. And finally, the good model has been elected, and that model is used for forecasting using regression. And in the second forecasting model is ARIMA model. So here, from the data set, initial investigation is done, and the forecasting attribute has been visualized. Since it's a time series based data, we could observe the trend and seasonality pertained by the underlying data set, and the modeling parameter optimization are done. So here I used transformation functions such as integration, log 1 by x, such statically proven transformation functions have been applied, and the result has been once again visualized. And finally, it is tested for whether it is complying with the ARIMO model or not. For that, we go for augmented key fuller test, and the hypothesis whether it can be taken or not, whether this transformation is satisfying to meet out whether it can be used by ARIMO model or not, and hyperparameter optimization. So this second part, this bottom second part shows the real ARIMO model. So this is the preparatory one. In the hyperparameter optimization, I just used autocorrelator function and partial autocorrelator function, and I visualized. And once again, I checked whether this data, which is transformed by the previous modeling parameter, is satisfied by this ARIMO model. So ARIMO model always expect the data to be very stationary. Stationary means the data should be within some interval between the mean. So after changing such transformation only, we could go for ARIMO model. So after ARIMO model is built, we go for Langevin box test, and the residual plot is drawn at parallel. Since I'm using visual analytic technique, whatever model I construct, I will in parallel construct the visualization too. So I'll be having the modeling result as well as visualization result. So this will give the user for double checking purpose whether the model is working satisfactory or not. So if it is satisfactory, if the residual is very low, so this can be evidenced by this residual plot. And if it is good enough, then the forecasting can be done. And the next forecasting model is based on LSTM. So here, once again, at the pre-processing stage, the data set is actually transformed into some statistical measures like a log, quartile, min-max. So some scaling functions are applied, and then if it reaches to some standardization, then I set a lag for LSTM. Since LSTM is a long short-term memory, it is capable of remembering some past day features. So I set that lag, and then we go for input layer and LSTM layer, and here we set several activation functions such as TAN, ILU, GLU, likewise. And we set a loss function, and I left a drop layer and followed by dense layer and output layer. So this architecture gave me a good result, and forecasting accuracy has been tested with the testing phase. And if it is good, then the forecasting begins. So my research contribution lies in 5 areas. One is domain-specific imputation techniques. All the missing values are actually estimated through ARIMO modeling, and then intervening variable analysis in future selection phases has been incorporated, and modeling and hyperparameter optimizations are incorporated in forecasting models. And whenever the model is built, the model performance is also generated with some visualization form, so that it will give us to check the model or evaluate the model in numerical values as well as numerical result as well as the visualization. And this is the first phase result. Here I have used a mean magnitude related error, and if I'm using mean imputation, it is going around some 20 plus of error. And linear interpolation, it is based on some regression settings and trend-based imputation. So this is my contribution where I used ARIMO model for replacing or estimating the missing values. And this is for phase 2. And here the extraneous variables are the pollutants, and confounding variables are these two: particulate matter of size 2.5 microns and nitrogen dioxide. And these features are correlated to weather attribute, particularly in rainfall. And the mediate variable here it is PM 2.5, and the moderating variables are ozone, carbon monoxide, and sulfur dioxide. So these attributes are removed. And I have compared these results with related benchmark works, and my work plays a good result. And this is for the Arimo model. So here the time series has been splitted up. So this shows trend seasonality components, and this is some random error occurs. And this is the forecasting done by the Arimo model, and this is the residual plot. So here the residual plot is having a very good bell-shaped form. So it aids us to assess that the underlying Arimo model is playing a good one. And this is regarding LSTM. So here I have mentioned so few of my LSTM performance. So here the second column specifies the number of layers and number of cells I have included and dropout. And this column specifies scalar transformation and activation function used. This is my error measurement. Either I used mean absolute error and standard error, and the past days of remembrance. And finally, this is the validation loss and training loss. And this is the LSTM visualization that has occurred using the learning phase. And this is this orange color states the prediction or forecasting for next or upcoming 15 days. And this is a composite plot where this purple color shows the actual precipitation value, and I have plotted the LSTM based forecast, regression based forecast, and Arimo model based forecast. And from this graph, it is clear that this LSTM based forecast is most closer to the actual one. So the interesting thing I have found in my research is this incorporation of pollutant with the weather attributes. Usually the researchers, what they will do is they get the weather related attributes and then they make a forecast. I have incorporated the pollution also because it is it force the factors which influencing the rainfall, so that the even a smaller rainfall will not be happen in some days. So this entire work has been compared with some benchmark works, and I have used nut shuffle efficacy
Ma'am.
and so
Kindly conclude.
okay.
You have exceeded the time.
And this,
Please kindly
yes,
conclude.
yes. The predictive efficacy is somewhat good compared to the existing works, and these are all the list of references. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sudha
So
madam,
any questions?
this is excellent work.
Thank you, sir.
Samsa and Shivam, any question to Sudhaji? Okay. Once again, Sudha, it's a very good work.
Thank you,
And
sir.
wonderful application with lot of tools and techniques you deployed. So happy. My question is very simple. Did you, when you say that you utilize a model was found to be most effective, right?
Yes, sir.
Sudha? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
this, which was the location where this was tested? Which city, which state?
It's the city where I'm living, sir. Madurai, Tamil Nadu.
Madurai, Tamil Nadu.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. So that is one aspect. Second, why is this time periods selected for forecasting is 15 days and not less or more?
Actually, people demands for next 2 weeks forecasting, sir. That's why I did. If we want, we can predict for next 3 days, 7 days. So it's up to the user to set the number of days of forecasting, sir. If it is exceeding 30 days, the forecast efficacy is somewhat degraded.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
sir.
But imagine the same technique is used to forecast the weather for 1 day or 2 day or 1 week, vis-a-vis 2 weeks. Is there a chance of inaccuracy when it is
No, sir.
delayed
Uh,
till 15 days? It is highly accurate according to you.
It's highly accurate. But if you are setting for 2 days or 1 day, of course it will work well, sir. Actually, the incorporation of pollutant, it will plays its role in computing how much rainfall will not occur. So that's why I'm saying my system works good.
Okay. Let me ask you one more thing. You are from Madurai.
Yes, sir.
And let's say the same model is utilized to predict rainfall in Bangalore or Chennai or any other place. Will your model work?
Of course, sir. I tested for Chennai and I had taken the period of 2019-20. So it is capable of giving 92% accuracy, sir.
So, okay, so you tested it in Chennai, let's say. So I'm
Yes,
saying,
sir.
let's say Lucknow or Jaipur or Patna. Same model can work anywhere, any location, or there are some limitation of your model?
No, sir. No such limitations. I hope it will work as it works for Madurai and Chennai.
Okay. Thank you very much. And I'm very happy with your work. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. So I would like to give a last call for the participants who are not able to present. Riya Gautam. Are you here?
I can see some Arohi. I don't know who he or she is. Arohi? Are you a participant? Not responding.
So let's move forward. Natwar Sardar Bhai Patel. Siraj Bhai Nagalpara. Danik. Srinivasan R. Are you there? I may think that they are not being in the meeting. So we are just moving towards the closing of the session. I sincerely thank our authors for their excellent presentation and contribution in this session, and all our participants for being a part of this international conference. I hope this session was informative enough. We, on behalf of the whole team, thank you for the support during this 8th conference, previous 7 versions of the conference. We will be happy to have you in the 9th version in 2025. All the presenters would be getting their digital certificates through email within 2 working days. Further, all the papers have already forwarded to the Springer. The publication will be live within 6 months. Kindly cooperate with the team of SMARTCOM 2024. I also thank our session chair, Dr. Nitesh Bhatt, for chairing the session. This is a token of appreciation to the chair on behalf of the team SmartCom 2024 and the Global Knowledge Research Foundation and partners. So, please.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your valuable presence. I kindly request everyone to switch on their cameras so we can have a snapshot of the conference. I request everyone to turn on their cameras so we could have a snapshot of the conference. Thank you, everyone. Stay safe, stay
Thank you,
connected.
sir, once again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, one and all. Thank you, sir.